I scaled my eCom paid ads agency to 50K a month with only 12 high-ticket clients in 6 months, and the wildest part, I didn't cold approach a single person. The only type of outreach I used was personalized Loom videos, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I use them and why they work so much better than anything you've tried before. Let's jump into it. But before we get into the new way of running cold outreach, I am going to explain why the old way doesn't work, and we're going to use 3 factors to explain why that is the case. And these 3 factors, any good agency owners would agree, are the most important factors to cold outreach. How easy is it to sell people that book calls from your outreach method? Second of all, which type of client quality does it bring? You don't want to be working with shit clients. And lastly, the long-term value of those clients. So let's jump into it. What is the old way of running cold outreach? Well, simple stuff: cold email, cold DMs, cold calling, all of these basic models. They have anywhere from a 1 to 5% ABR depending on which method you are using. Then you jump on a discovery call, and after that you have a 10% close rate on a 2 to 2.5K a month close. This is the most basic way of running cold outreach, and this is the way 95% of agency owners are doing it. This system focuses on quantity over quality. Sending more emails is better. Cold calling more emails is better, which I'll explain why is a flawed method of thinking in a second. It creates exponential complexity because sending 10,000 emails a month is not 10 times more difficult than sending 1,000 emails a month. It's exponentially more difficult. It's 50, it's 100 times more difficult because every single time you create a new proxy, you have more emails, you have more incoming mail to manage. Every single time you have to scrape new lead lists, it becomes more and more and more complex. So let's just quickly reverse engineer this model to show you in straight up numbers what this looks like. If you want to grow your agency to 50K a month, you need about 20 clients. Let's be optimistic and say that you sign clients on just over 2K a month. With a 10% close rate, you need 200 discovery calls to reach that number. At a 2% ABR, you need to send 10,000 cold emails, and with a 3-month lifetime, each client is worth 7.5K to you. So just to maintain this system, once you get to 50K a month, if you want to stay at 50K a month, you have to send 3,300 cold emails and take 66 discovery calls every single month. So 2 calls a day every single day and 100 cold emails every single day just to maintain 50K a month. We're not even talking about growing your agency. So I hope you begin understanding why this is a flawed model to get to anywhere above 15K a month. The second factor why this model sucks is the ease of sale. It creates a difficult sales process because of this thing I call know, like, and trust. For someone to buy from you, they have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you. With this model, they know you because you've contacted them, so they know who you are. They don't really like you because nobody likes to be cold called or cold emailed, and they don't trust you because you cold approach them. And the reason they don't trust you is because of risk. It's high risk to the client. You are charging a retainer. They don't actually have any guarantee that you will do your job. And it's all just filled with risk for this potential client because they don't find you, you contact them, which in turn creates a low close rate because you get a ton of objections. You're probably pretty familiar with constantly dealing with objections. Oh, I need to talk to my wife. I can't afford this. I don't trust you. I'm not sure if this is the right fit for me right now. All of the bullshit appears when you are booking calls with cold clients using these standard cold outreach methods. Then client quality. You close clients, if you actually end up closing them on this 10% closing rate, you get high maintenance clients that are much harder to keep happy and require more time invested per client, which in turn causes you to have lower margins. The reason they are higher maintenance is because they don't trust you. So they will be asking more questions. They'll be on your neck. They'll be much less lenient because the dynamic is that they are doing you a service and not the other way around. It also creates a lot of churn because again, they're not lenient. The first time you fuck up, you can be sure that they will kick you out, which creates a hamster wheel. And churn is basically the worst thing that can happen in your agency because it negates absolutely everything else that you do. You can send 1,000 emails, you can take 100 sales calls, you can do 50 audits, close 5 people, but if they end up churning, all of it was for nothing, and it gives you less referrals because again the power dynamic is off. They're doing you a service and not the other way around. Lastly, the long-term value of these clients. The retention of these clients is usually 3 to 4 months. That's pretty standard in the agency game. The average monthly invoice at about 2.5k a month, which gives you an LTV of 7.5 to 10k a month, which is far from ideal. Sending so many emails, taking so many sales calls just to get 10k over 3 to 4 months is pretty crazy and not a scalable way to build an actual business. So what is the new way of running cold outreach and why is it so amazing? Well, first of all, the long-term value. You have 7 to 9 month retention with the exact same service using this model because the person goes into the partnership with a completely different lens. They feel like they are doing you a service, which I'll get to in a second why that happens. They are much more lenient to you. So if you fuck up, they won't kick you out immediately. They'll give you several tries so you can keep fucking up. I'm not saying that you should, but you can with this type of outreach, and it just has a lot more trust in the fundamentals of your partnership. If you want to take this even a step further and not have the same service, have an amazing service to increase this retention even more, check out my service delivery video. I'll link it down in the description. This model gives an average monthly invoice of about 4k a month. At my agency, we are at about 5.5k actually, but to be realistic, let's say 4k. This is where I was at in the beginning of my journey, which gives you an LTV of $36,000, which means that each client becomes 3.6 times more worth with the exact same input. This is the literal definition of leverage. The client quality, well, because of the initial approach, we're only targeting the top 3% of your ICP. You only work with the best of the best brands. So with this strategy, we're not going to be blasting every single ecom brand out there. We're only going to go after the ones that we actually really want to work with. Using this method allows you to sign low maintenance clients that are easy to keep happy because again, they are lenient. They don't expect as much from you and allows you to spend less time per client, which gives you higher margins. Because of course, the less time you spend managing each client, the more clients you can have and the higher your margins will be. It also creates low churn and you escape this hamster wheel of constantly having to replace churned clients, which creates a compounding effect because you only need the bare minimum to maintain your current MRR. You don't have to be on this hamster wheel constantly running just to keep the revenue that you're already at. Every single new client you sign basically just becomes an addition to your current revenue, which allows you to constantly be scaling. It also gives you a ton of referrals because ecom brand owners usually know at least 10 other ecom brand owners, and when you deliver great work for one of them, they will introduce you to the rest of their network, which again creates a ton of leverage. It's this concept of the 5 handshakes to reach anyone. I think it's 5 handshakes. Basically, through 5 steps, you can reach anyone in the world, no matter where in the world you are. While with this one, just through one person, you get access to a giant network of other potential clients. Lastly, just general life enjoyment. We are running this business full-time. We are spending a lot of our personal time on making this work. So having fun clients that you really enjoy working with makes your life so much more colorful and makes you enjoy your days so much more, which in turn causes you to work more on your business, which causes you to grow more. So you have these personal benefits to it as well. Then the ease of sale. It creates the easiest sales calls ever because they are based on value. And this is the closest you will ever get to getting a warm lead from cold outreach, which allows me to have 30 to 40% close rates in my agency. It also checks all the boxes on the know, like, trust system. So they know you, they like you because they book a call based on value. I'll get to what this model is exactly in a second, and they trust you. So paired with my sales process, the sales calls become so easy, you literally can't make it up. And again, I'll link to the sales process down in the description. Go and check that out after this video. So what is actually this model? It's value-based personal looms, and that is a quality over quantity strategy. You're only sending 30 to 40 pieces of outreach daily. You're not blasting tens of thousands of people every single month the way you usually do with email, and the bar just becomes higher and higher. I've met people blasting 300,000 to 400,000 emails every single month in the US alone. This only requires 900 to 1,000 pieces of outreach every single month, and the method is that you record personalized Loom for every single prospect, which is sent by email directly to the person's private email. So you don't want to be reaching out to info@ or support@ emails. You only want to be reaching out to personal emails, and you want to include the personalized Loom in the first email. So you don't ask this, can I send you a video bullshit, and then send the video. You send it in the first email. This is such a gem. Nobody does this. Everyone knows that when you are reaching out to them asking to send a video, you will record the video after they say yes. People aren't stupid. We're dealing with business owners that have quite a bit of wit. So just start the conversation by providing value, by sending those personalized Looms in the initial email. What should the Loom actually contain? Well, it should be 2 minutes and 45 seconds to 3 minutes long. And the idea is to just give feedback and give them as much value as possible using the ads that are available in the ads library. So Meta, Google, Snapchat, and TikTok all have ads libraries where you can look up a particular business's ads, which ads they are running at that moment. You can go through that and you can give them feedback. I would change this creative, I would turn off this technical setting, I would try this angle, just giving them tons of value, giving them aha moments. And of course, you're not able to give them the most comprehensive audit ever, because what you see in the ad libraries is pretty surface level. But what it will do is position you as a person who is willing to give away all your secrets and just give them value without expecting anything in return, which is so rare in today's market, where everyone is immediately pitching or using these bullshit strategies like, I'll send you a video, let me know, and then they record the video afterwards. At the end, have a simple CTA, no push, no like crazy sales tactics. This works wonders because, again, people are so used to people immediately putting in their calendar links or immediately going for the throat. But you just say, hey, I have more ideas. If you want, we can jump on a call. We'll discuss it. If not, that's completely fine. Have an amazing day. It's so refreshing for people to get a value-packed email without any super crazy CTAs on the end. And in turn, it makes more people actually book a call with you because they trust you. Again, going back to this whole know, like, trust thing. And the cool thing about using a simple CTA like this is that it ensures that you only jump on calls with clients that are actually interested. Why? Because you're not pushing them to do anything. So if they actually end up booking a call, they are doing it because they're actually interested, and you will close much higher quality clients for your agency. Lastly, let's just reverse engineer this model to show you what it looks like in straight up numbers. So to get to 50K a month, now you only need 12 clients instead of 20 clients. At a 40% close rate, you only need 30 discovery calls to get to this stage. Imagine that, only 30 discovery calls to get to 50K a month. At a 3% ABR, you only need to send 1,000 pieces of outreach, and at a 9-month lifetime, you have a $36,000 LTV, which means that you only need to send 111 Looms and take 3 discovery calls every single month to maintain 50K a month, and anything above that is straight up scale for your agency. And then 100K a month is right around the corner, and then 200K a month, 300K a month. This creates a compounding system. Why does this happen? Why does it make the sales process so simple, and why does it make it so simple to maintain your current numbers? Because of leverage in each step. We have a higher monthly retainer, which means that we need fewer clients. We have a higher close rate, which means that we need fewer discovery calls. We have a higher ABR, which means that we need fewer pieces of outreach. And lastly, we have a much higher lifetime, which gives us much more value for every single client that we are closing. So just to compare, I've put together this quick comparison dashboard. Cold outreach close rate is 10%. For personalized Looms, it's 30 to 40%. Expect about 30% in the beginning, then you can bump it to 40 and even 50% with time. AOV for cold outreach is 2.5K a month. Personalized Looms, it's 4K a month. LTV, cold outreach is 7.5K a month at 3 to 4 months. For personalized Looms, it's $36,000 and 7 to 9 months lifetime. Again, remember, this is for the exact same service. This doesn't require you to do any changes to your actual service delivery. Effort is the exact same for both models. And lastly, the client quality. For standard cold outreach, it's much more difficult to deliver the service, and you have about 40 to 50% margins if you're lucky, while with my model, the personalized looms, it makes it so easy to deliver the service and you have 75+% margins. My personal agency is at over 100K a month and we're still doing 75% margins. What I just showed you is the exact outreach strategy I used to sign 40 high ticket clients in my own agency and scale to 100K a month with 75% margins. And the best part, I can teach you how to do the same. Recently, I've launched a private mentorship where I'll guide you step by step through how to build and scale your own acquisition engine using cold looms, everything from scripting to recording to booking calls on autopilot. But that's just one part of the performance growth protocol. I'll also teach you everything else you need to know to scale your eCom paid ads agency to 50K a month, from authority-based attraction to churn-proof service delivery to the leanest internal operations possible. Right now, I'm opening up 3 slots to work with me personally one-on-one. It's a highly personalized thing, so I don't have the capacity to work with tens of agency owners. So if that sounds interesting, click the link below, check out the 3-minute VSL, and if it sounds intriguing, I'll see you on a call.